I interviewed the organizer of the biggest pump and dump in Ripple XRP history. Over 300,000 people participated in this pump and dump, with hundreds of thousands losing money. A bit of a background: on February 1st of 2021, a group of people tried to pump the price of XRP Ripple to $1. In this occurrence, rumors were spread out that the organizers ended up selling, causing the price to plummet to 30 cents. Of course, guys, we're going to speak to him and get his side of the story in today's interview, as well as ask him a few other questions about Ripple XRP. With that being said, let's get into it. Let's start out by asking you about yourself. So tell us a bit about yourself. What do you do? What kind of got you into the Twitter, crypto and sort of social media, crypto-wise?
Yeah, sure. So I've been in the crypto space for about 4 years now. So during the bull run of 2018 is when I bought my first like crypto. So since then I've been, researching crypto, buying crypto. As far as like being on social media, that started last year. So during the actually 2020 it started. So summer of 2020, that's when I started like doing content creation. So I started with like XRP related content on YouTube, but I was really, really active on Twitter. So that happened, and then there was a little event that that I organized, where a bunch of people like organized themselves together to try to pump the price of XRP. That was February 1st last year.
I remember that
Um,
very vividly. I remember that jump up to a
yes,
dollar. That was the target, and I think at 98
yeah,
cents was it that we crashed
yeah.
at the time.
Yeah, so we
Interesting.
did actually, what people don't understand about that is that we did actually affect the price in a positive way because we were consolidating around 25 cents
Mm-hmm.
for a long time. And that was after the lawsuit was dropped. So like when the lawsuit was dropped in December, we were at like 20 cents to 23 cents, And then once we did that pump XRP, the days leading up to it, we really went up to like almost like a dollar.
Mm-hmm.
But then we crashed and we never went back to 25 cents ever again, and still we haven't gone back. So that I think is the good display of community, and it shows that the community is very, very powerful when it comes to cryptocurrency, especially.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Um, but
So,
but but yeah. So long story short, I'm living in Japan. Just doing content creation. I do cryptocurrency consultations. I have a small Discord group where we talk about NFTs and the metaverse. So yeah, I'm like fully into this crypto space, man.
awesome, awesome, good stuff. So, since you brought up that February 1st, there's a lot of people that question, and you said you were one of the organizers. Is that right?
Yeah,
So, a lot of people
yeah.
question of whether that was a sort of a scheme to try and sell off, for some people to sell off crypto. What happened there? If you can tell us a bit of from your vision, kind of what happened on February when we had that pump and then sudden drop.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. So this was around the time when Clubhouse, the app, was getting it was like kind of new, so like people were getting into it, like staying on Clubhouse talks for like hours and hours. So I was on Clubhouse, and this was around the same time like this Clubhouse was happening was around the Wall Street Bets phenomenon. So like Wall Street Bets, they were pumping the price of, GameStop and AMC and stuff like that. So I was like, hey, why don't we pump the price of XRP? So I started a Telegram chat. I didn't pay any bots to come on the Telegram chat. I didn't pay anyone for marketing. Like this really was a community effort.
Mm-hmm.
So, one person turned into 10, turned into 20, turned into 50, then 100. So we were going by like thousands, by the day. And at the end of it all, we had almost 300,000 people in one Telegram chat. That was kind of scary, to be honest with you, because I didn't think that it was going to happen that fast. And having 300,000 people in one group is a pretty big responsibility.
Absolutely.
So I wasn't really like prepared for any of that,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was completely random. It was a completely like a good display of community.
Looking back at it now, though, setting a set date, saying, on this day, our target is going to be $1. We're gonna hit
Yeah,
$1
that
by
was the
the
mistake.
yeah. So that you feel if you could go back, what would you
If I
change?
could go back, I would just say that this week we're going to celebrate XRP by buying XRP this week and not setting a set day or time. That way, people, there's enough time for people to participate, number one, and number two, whales won't know when to sell.
For sure. Now, why XRP? I know there's obviously thousands of cryptocurrencies out there. It seems that you focused on XRP even from earlier, from years back. Why was XRP the cryptocurrency that you've kind of focused your attention to and done a lot of your research, and it seems like given feedback to the community and sort of created this community around it? Why not any other cryptocurrency?
Yeah, sure. That's a really good question. You know, okay, so when I first got into the crypto space, when people were talking about decentralization and how cryptocurrency is a great way to make a monetary system that is sort of against the government or that doesn't need government to function, in my head, I always thought that that's never going to happen because there are actually people that run the world. Like there are world governments that run this world, and they're not going to give up power to a bunch of people. That's just not going to happen. Government will always want to tax people. Government will always want to control people. Like that's just what's going to happen till the end of time, right? Now with crypto, it's an interesting solution because there are a lot of countries that are not really developed yet that believe will be under threat by cryptocurrency um, because of how decentralized some cryptocurrencies are. So now, when I saw XRP, I was researching XRP, and the first thing I saw was Ripple. And what Ripple was doing was that, and this was the motto from the beginning, they wanted to work with governments. They wanted to work with regulators. And I thought that that was a better solution than just trying to create a monetary system that's against the government. I think that whoever works with the government will end up winning in the end. And in the end, really, if you look at Ripple, they're not even looking to work with the government, really. Sorry, they're not. Looking to work with governments, but the banks will still lose in a Ripple system because they'll have to use their system, and they don't want to use their system because they make a lot of money from the Swift system already because there's money parked in banks and they make money from that. But with the RippleNet system, they don't get to make money from that anymore, from just trillions of dollars being parked in banks. So that's really why the RippleNet system is threatening these banks. But long story short, the reason why I got into XRP is because I saw this company Ripple. They were sort of being a champion of the XRP ledger, and they were like, hey, like they were basically doing free marketing for the XRP ledger, and they partnered with the world's largest banks. Like that's a no-brainer to me,
So
And for other, yeah,
yeah.
go ahead.
I was
Sorry.
just gonna say you brought up very important points and kind of gets us right into the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. There, the SEC is claiming some of the things that you kind of brought up, that Ripple is advertising for XRP, that they're supporting XRP, which makes XRP a security. So getting into that realm of things, what are your thoughts? First of all, let's start on the XRP versus SEC lawsuit, and kind of, do you see that there is a fairness element from the SEC's perspective as to XRP being a security?
Okay, so I think that this SEC lawsuit is I think that there's an actual fight going on. That's like there really is a war going on behind the scene. But I think that what the SEC is trying to say is that not only so they're trying to say two things. So number one, that Jed McCaleb and sorry, not Jed McCaleb, Brad
Brad.
Garlinghouse sold XRP like a security, to exchanges, and that those sales should be scrutinized. That's number one. And number two, they're also alleging that XRP itself is a security still to this day, meaning that people who bought XRP up until the date of the lawsuit, which was what, December 12th, 2021. Sorry, 2020. Up until that time, if you had bought XRP, then you were buying into a security. And we all know that buying XRP does not mean that you're buying into Ripple stock, because Ripple has stock of their own. So I don't know why they would say that, that XRP itself is a security, but this could all be a ploy to get XRP to be regulatory compliant, because Ripple is the same company that has been paying both the Trump and the Biden administration for pro-cryptocurrency regulation. And when you hear pro-cryptocurrency regulation, it's pro-Ripple regulation, because there are only a few companies that are lobbying in the United States Congress. Lobbying means like giving money to senators and congressmen and women. So they're giving money for these senators and these congressmen and women to write laws that are pro-crypto laws. But when they say pro-crypto laws, it's really pro-Ripple laws, which is a good thing.
Absolutely. And did notice, it's been years that you do see Brad Garlinghouse on various news stations talking to various congressmen, even before this Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. So you're absolutely valid point there. Now, how do you see the progression of this lawsuit?
I see the progression.
So we've heard of a couple of delays now. Do you think it'll really end in a settlement? Or do you think Ripple's going to want a win, or the SEC is not going to give in to a settlement? What are your sort of thoughts as to the end?
I'm not an attorney, but if you do want to follow that, I would recommend John Deaton on Twitter. But my 2 cents, from the beginning, it looks like Ripple is sort of like, they obviously want to go for a win. They're obviously, and that's sort of like a posture, like, because they can't really say that they don't want to win. So any company wants to win against the SEC, so they kind of have to say that. But they do have a good legal team. I mean, they have a former chair of the SEC on their legal team, Mary Jo White. Absolutely. That's that's a huge deal. So I think that no settlement will happen if it doesn't go Ripple's way. So I think that what the SEC wants to do is that they want domination over the entire asset class, over cryptocurrency. They want to be able to say that this cryptocurrency is a security and this one's not. But what Ripple wants is pro crypto regulation. They want XRP to be regulatory compliant. And if they have to pay a fine, then they have to pay a fine. But long story short, I think that we are really, really close. I mean, we're the closest that we've ever been to some sort of a resolution. Whether it's a settlement, I don't think it's going to go to trial, because the way that the world economy is right now, like, we can't wait for a trial, because the world is crumbling financially. Absolutely. And so we need a liquidity solution as soon as possible.
So you're right. Absolutely. Globally, the economy right now is crumbling, and a lot of countries are having a hard time balancing between supporting people, throughout this COVID pandemic. And maybe you've heard about the executive order that's being brought up about Biden putting in an executive order about crypto, treating it as a matter of national security. And are you aware of that news?
Yes, I am.
So your thoughts? Do you think that'll be a good thing? What do you think will be in that executive order?
When I first thought about it, I thought it was going to be a really bad thing. But I think at the end of it all, I think it will actually be good, but for a select number of cryptocurrencies. because I think that when you look at this administration, the Biden administration, we know what they stand for. They stand for green energy. That's number one. Actually, I think that that's the biggest thing that they want to make sure that with the new monetary system, we don't consume too much energy. So I think that with this new executive order that's going to happen, I think that what's going to happen, first they're going to go after stable coins. Stable coins that are not regulated. So Tether. I think that Tether, and I've been talking about Tether for a long time now. Tether is going to have to be banned in the United States because you can't have a dollar, like a fake dollar, being used in the U.S. Like that just can't happen. You know, that's like me creating a fake, I don't know, like Japanese yen and saying, hey guys, like I backed this yen 1-to-1 with actual yen when I haven't. No government's gonna like that. That's fraud. So Tether is going to be banned, and then after that, they're probably gonna deem all cryptocurrencies as securities. And then after that, they're going to handpick the ones that they reconsider to be to not be securities. So I think that XRP will definitely be one of them. XLM, another one. XDC, HBAR, IOTA, like those are energy efficient cryptocurrencies that don't take up a lot of energy, and I think that Bitcoin's going to have to, the miners are going to have to find a new way to mine Bitcoin, because I think part of what's going to happen with this administration is that they're going to say, okay, mining isn't illegal, but the amount of energy that you use has to be below this amount of, kilowatt hours, or like, we're going to place a carbon tax on you. I think that that's going to happen. Like, they're not going to ban mining, but they're just going to make it really hard for any miner to operate the way that they're operating right now.
For sure. So you brought up an important point. Bitcoin is always talked down about because of energy efficiencies. Absolutely. It's not really, it's not comparable even to a lot of the other cryptocurrencies in terms of energy efficiency. So how long do you think Bitcoin will stay as the leader in crypto? And do you think it is important that Bitcoin is still the top cryptocurrency? Do you think if Bitcoin is brought down, that the remaining cryptocurrencies can still survive? Or does that mean the death of crypto?
I think that Bitcoin will take a new form. So I think that Bitcoin, as we know it right now, won't exist. Or I think, well, let me rephrase that. I think that Bitcoin, as we know it right now, it'll exist, but it'll just be really inefficient to use. And I think that exchanges will place like an additional fee on people who want to use the real Bitcoin. So I think that people will move their value from the real Bitcoin onto other chains like the XRP ledger, like the XLM ledger, because right now we have Bitcoin on the XRP ledger right now. Mm-hmm. So if you wanted to move Bitcoin from one person to another on the XRP ledger, you could do that right now if you wanted to. So I think that, Bitcoin's going to take a new form. I think that if that happens, then definitely the price may take a hit. And if it's important for Bitcoin to be number one, I think that it's important for Bitcoin to be number one to bring more people into the cryptocurrency space, because Bitcoin has been like synonymous with cryptocurrency. Like whenever you hear about Bitcoin, whenever you hear about crypto, you automatically think about Bitcoin. So I think that, Bitcoin as a household name, I think that it's important. Not many people know about XRP, so I think that it's important for Bitcoin to stay number one for that reason.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of that, so we're hearing a lot of celebrities, we'll just mention Elon Musk, bringing up a lot of meme coins. And obviously a lot of layman investors, people that are sort of just reading the news, are maybe attracted because of the price. Do you think meme coins are a good thing for cryptocurrencies? Do you think they bring maybe people that would normally not be involved in crypto?
Yeah, I think meme coins are very good for the entire cryptocurrency space because it's about exposure. It's all about exposure. So meme coins is something, fun and simple for people to understand. Like who doesn't like Dogecoin? It's a dog in front of a coin, so everyone likes dogs, I mean, a lot of people like dogs, so it's just a fun way to get people into the cryptocurrency space. Now, would I put any money in meme coins? Absolutely not, because there are so many other cryptocurrencies out there that are regulatory compliant that have a better future than meme coins. But I think meme coins are still important for the
Do you
entire
think
crypto
it's
space.
dangerous that they've reached as big of a numbers as we're seeing today? Dogecoin having market caps of billions, over 20, $30 billion. Do you think it's dangerous at some point where, when you realize there's really no utility? Or do you think they'll still find
Yeah,
a way?
I think it is. I think it is dangerous for people who are just getting into the cryptocurrency space because um, I mean, they're gonna lose their money. Like if you bought Dogecoin a couple months ago and you held until today, I mean, you've definitely lost money. Now there are people that have made money on Dogecoin, so that's always a good thing. But yeah, it's always not a good thing to just FOMO into a cryptocurrency just because a lot of people are talking about it. Like it needs to have, like you said, it needs to have utility, and Dogecoin doesn't have utility at all.
Now, jumping right into the next sort of section, inflation. Obviously, it's a global problem right now. We're seeing numbers ranging from 10 to 25% across the globe in various countries. Do you think inflation has a positive impact on crypto? Do you think it's a good thing for crypto? Perhaps it's a way for people to try and save the value of their money, or do you think it's going to hurt crypto more than anything?
Inflation, I believe, will help crypto um, because people will always want to move into safe haven, into another form of money. Um, so I think that it will help crypto. Um, but at the same time, I don't think that it will end. Like it's not. I think that we're going to continue this inflation route for a long time. Um, because at this point they can't stop it. Like they can't stop inflation. They're in too deep. Every world government is just in too deep. So there's no stopping it. So you just have to keep it going. The prices of things are going to rise. So you're going to see, the prices of meat rise. You're going to see the prices of houses rise and land. All that's going to rise. And I think all that really lines up with what the global plan is for 2030 with the World Economic Forum. Have you seen that?
No, no, maybe you'll tell us about it.
Yeah, so the World Economic Forum, go to just Google search World Economic Forum predictions 2030. And the first link you'll see is 8 predictions for the world in 2030. Now, this was published in 2016, but it applies today. So prediction number one, all products will have become services. U.S. dominance is over. But what's really interesting is that they say that, we'll be eating less meat, stuff like that. So they have like different predictions. But one thing that I think that will happen that they haven't mentioned is that the price of land will go up a lot. And we won't necessarily. Oh, they actually have a video where they say that we won't own anything.
Yeah.
Like you won't own anything and be happy. I think that that's actually going to happen because of inflation. I think that, inflation will make it impossible for anyone to own anything. So you'll just have to rent it out, which in a way is not the worst thing to happen because, I mean, there are a lot of things that I have in my house that I necessarily like. If I could just rent it out, it would be way better than owning it outright. Like, why do I need to own, a car? Like, why can't I just use it whenever I need it?
Absolutely.
So I think that in a way could be a positive.
So it's getting into not owning anything. Perhaps there's a lot of talk right now about the metaverse and Facebook and sort of this virtual reality world with NFTs and all sorts of things virtual. Do you think that is something that's going to become a reality, or perhaps it's just you know things that we're imagining or hopes by Facebook? Or do you think that and crypto are kind of connected and they're going to grow together?
Yeah, the metaverse. So Facebook is making the metaverse popular. That the metaverse. So there will be many different metaverses. So the metaverse is just like a virtual world, but there are many different virtual worlds. So I think that the first, or well, like not the first, but one of the early examples of a metaverse was the game RuneScape. Do you know RuneScape? Do
Yes,
you
yes,
remember RuneScape?
absolutely. I played it for a long time during
Yeah.
my childhood
So,
years,
so
for sure.
yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. I mean, RuneScape was like the first. I keep saying first, the early example of a metaverse
And you
because
can even
there
say
are
they had a
many people online that
cryptocurrency.
you can
They,
play
I
with.
think you could
Right,
trade their money to into real.
right, right. So imagine if everything you owned in that game could actually be owned, like you wouldn't lose it, because if you lost your account, then you lost everything. You lost the password, you lost everything. Now we're moving into a world where we will actually own things digitally on the blockchain. So I think that the metaverse is definitely here. It's here to stay. I think that everyone should be looking into buying land in the metaverse because what's going to happen is that a lot of people, especially in developing countries, they're going to tap into the metaverse to try to make money. So they're going to use the metaverse as a way to make money. So if you own land in the metaverse, you could maybe create an experience or create a game where like people pay for it and they play the game. So you could make a passive income in the metaverse. I have land in the metaverse. I'm thinking of creating advertisement space so people could advertise their businesses on my land and stuff like that. So the metaverse is definitely like some people laugh at the metaverse, but I think that it's honestly a really, really genius idea because it'll allow people everywhere around the world to tap into a world where there's a whole new economy, a whole new way of life, and it really could bring a lot of opportunity to people who don't really have opportunity. Now, the key is this. There will be two types of users for the metaverse. There will be the users that actually play the games in the metaverse and want to experience the metaverse, and there will be the users that own the land and create the experiences and make the passive income. So I want to be in that group. I want to be in the group that owns the land, makes the passive income. I don't want to experience the metaverse really. I don't have an interest in that. Um, but I have an interest in making money. And I think that the metaverse is a great like investment to make right now.
So you brought up a lot of important points, actually, and we're kind of seeing them in reality. A lot of people, unfortunately, you're right, the value, because of inflation, no one can afford to buy property, nobody can afford to buy land, everything is up. So what can your physical dollar do? And, a lot of people are looking at that, and the only real opportunities are usually they seem like in crypto and in the metaverse, which are still to some degree affordable for the average, small investor. So definitely. Now, getting a little past that, so what do you see? How do you see things looking in a year? Do you think crypto is going to have this sudden boom? Do you think the metaverse will be really a lot bigger? Do you think it's still too early? And then in 5 years, how do you see things changing by then?
Okay. Okay. So in 1 year, I think that hmm. Okay, so I think that by the end of this year, we will definitely have a resolution for this Ripple lawsuit. I think that's the first thing that's going to happen. And then after that, the price of XRP is going to go up. But not only XRP, other altcoins will go up as well.
I'm going to ask you a question. Sorry to cut you off there. How high do you think XRP could go up? Really, after the end of this lawsuit?
Well, so in 2017, XRP went up a total of 39,000%. That is a fact. 39,000% in 2017. Now, people look at that and it's like, are you crazy? Like 39,000%. So if you take the price of XRP right now, which is roughly around 60 cents US, right?
Yes.
60 cents plus 39,000%, that's about $234, right? So some people say, oh, like $234 XRP, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. But the price of XRP went that high without any of these partnerships that we have with the world's largest banks, without like products being built on the XRP ledger, without all these trust lines. Like XRP of 2017 is not the XRP of today. XRP of today is way stronger. So I think that we could see these types of levels. I think people will really be shocked to see how high XRP could go. But I think the first target is obviously going to be, the all-time high, so $3.84 roughly. So I think that that's like the first target, and then people will sell. And then we're going to, consolidate around $2 for a while. And then after that, maybe next year, the year.
Those numbers you see right after the lawsuit, do you think there'll be a big pump up to some crazy number, or do you think it'll be a gradual transition? Say, the day of the lawsuit we hear over, will that be the day that we have a significant jump up to, I won't say $200, but
I think that if the price of XRP is moving up, I think that the price of XRP will move up before a settlement. Or before the lawsuit is over. I think that before the lawsuit is over, the price is going to move up, and that will give people hope, for a settlement. People will try to scramble to buy XRP when they can't, and the price will move up even more. I mean, we don't have to have a resolution to this lawsuit as long as the price goes up. I have no problem with this lawsuit as long as the price is going up. Well, I do have a problem with the lawsuit, but I think that the price will go up regardless of the lawsuit, because I think that maybe world banks the exchanges or like the ODL partners, they'll realize like F this lawsuit, we're just going to use XRP, and the price will go up and the SEC can't do anything about it. So anyway, long story short, I went out on a tangent. Long story short, I think that before the end of the year we'll hit $3. That's just my opinion. Now the whole $200 thing, I don't know when that'll happen. I don't know if that'll happen. But I think that is a possibility.
Yeah. Now, you brought up a good point in terms of the settlement, and potentially people could hear, there could be some insiders that could relay some information about a settlement way before, and we could, like you said, see a price jump as a result. Now,
Wow.
So you didn't mention about the 5-year plan. Where do you see cryptos in 5 years?
In 5 years, yeah, in 5 years, cryptocurrency is going to be an alternative to like fiat currency. So I think that in developed countries like the United States, Canada, a lot of countries in Europe and Japan, China, I think that the digital currency, like the CBDC, will be the main currency that people use. So like the dollar will still be the dollar in the United States, and in other countries as well. But I think that what will be interesting to see is the countries that accept cryptocurrency as sort of like legal tender.
Like El
So I think that like El Salvador, I think Thailand, I think that developing countries will have more flexibility to accept different types of cryptocurrencies because of how weak their economies are. So I think that the U.S. they don't need the people to pay with XRP or with Ethereum, but I think that countries like El Salvador they do because they just need the money. So I think that you'll see a lot of cryptocurrency investors moving into developing countries and investing in those countries and living in those countries, and those countries are going to pick up because of that.
Now it's
So I
hard,
think in five,
yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
It's hard to imagine, right, the way crypto is right now with the volatility, it being say a means of payment for salaries and such. Do you think the volatility of cryptocurrencies will make them really an alternative to currencies, given the volatility within the cryptocurrency space? I mean, one day you have Bitcoin that's 63,000, the next you see it at 40. Can people really rely that on a constant stable income? You know, I know we hear of the mayors of New York and, you know, El Salvador and so on, accepting their wages in crypto. But do you think it could become a widespread phenomena given how volatile the cryptocurrency space? And will the cryptocurrency space maintain the level of volatility that we are seeing today?
Yeah, no. So we can't have this amount of volatility in the crypto space if it's going to be used. So yeah, I think in 5 years you're going to see a less volatile cryptocurrency market. And I think that that only happens with high price. You can only the only way to fight volatility is to increase the price. That's really it. Like you really can't do anything. Like if XRP or if any cryptocurrency is trading at 20 cents, right? Well, for you to have like a 50% dip is going to have to go from 20 cents to 10 cents. That's more likely than a 50% drop from, let's say, $50,000 to $25,000 or $100,000 to $50,000. Like that's less likely to happen than a 20 cent to 10 cent drop. So the price of these cryptocurrencies will have to be high to fight this volatility.
I've always thought that, you know, Elon Musk and billionaires and trillionaires, whoever it is, have the money to be able to impact. The only reason they were able to impact the crypto space is because the crypto space is small. And that's why you see a lot of these meme coins suddenly jumping up in price because, again, there's not a lot of investors. And if you have somebody spending $1 billion, they're able to expand the price. If, you know, let's say the whole market cap is 2 billion, you put $1 billion, it's going to jump up. But if it was $1 trillion, $1 billion would not make as big of a dent in the price as it would now. So absolutely there. Now, we'll try and end it with this. Your thoughts on the upcoming couple of weeks in crypto? We've seen a crash, we've seen some recovery, and there's a lot of scare and fear and sort of uncertainty within the crypto space. What is your thought on what is going on today and sort of the structure of crypto today and what's, you know, we're likely to see in the next couple of weeks in terms of pricing? I know it's nobody really wants to give a set price because obviously nothing is definitive, but your thoughts.
Yeah, I think that these next few weeks will be the most volatile weeks that we've had in a long time. I think that we still have a little bit more like more to dip. I think that XRP could definitely dip down below 55 cents. I think that could happen, but the key is this. You have to keep a long-term view of the cryptocurrency markets, you know, so people, you know, they got scared because of this recent drop. Some people sold, but now is the time where you really have to buy. There was an article that was posted yesterday, I think, where like I think Goldman Sachs, they said they posted this article saying, oh, even though there's mass adoption with cryptocurrency, that doesn't mean that the price is going to go up. So investors should probably stop buying cryptocurrency. So when they say this, that means that you should buy cryptocurrency because they're buying cryptocurrency. So I think that, the price is definitely going to be volatile in the next few weeks, but I think that we will see some good price movement probably in March or end of February.
Perfect. Sounds good. It was an awesome discussion having with you, Benjamin. I have left your Twitter in the description there for anybody that wants to follow Sir Bully Crypto. For everybody else that's in the video in the live stream right now, make sure you click that like and subscribe button. It really helps us out, and I appreciate it. It was really, again, a pleasure having you on, and I'm really happy that we've had this discussion.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm sure we'll stay in touch, and maybe we'll bring you on another time.
Absolutely.
All right. Nice talking to you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.